All right, welcome to my FX Buddies, episode 147. This is the podcast, and I am going to direct you to the blog, which is myfxbuddies.blogspot.com. Because you might want to go there, maybe not. You should, because that's where all the articles are posted with the links. The articles are posted in full with the link to the article so you can see for yourself. It's not something I'm making up. Or if you want to share with someone and you want to share the original post. Um, what else? The video that's on YouTube is also on the blog so you can read along, um, as I'm speaking. And speaking of speaking, someone must be new, left a comment. You speak too slow. Well, that's the way I speak. So I'm not just going to speed up. But luckily, with the magic of technology, if you go to, and lots of, almost everywhere is doing it now. So if you go to a video, I was just happen to be watching that. Anyway, you click here on this gear thing and playback speed. See that? And you click on that and you can change the playback speed. It is a wonderful thing because I mostly listen to everything on 1.75, but the feedback that I get, a lot of people like to listen to me on 1.5. So there you go, and then you click that, and then the video will play at 1.5, and it does. It saves time and everything. It's wonderful. So there's for that person, or maybe you didn't know that. Rumble has it. I mean, almost everything that I listen to has that function now, so it's great. All right, so I wanted to point that out. So, yeah, today is Sunday, December 22nd. I'll be covering news for the weekend, which would be 21st, 22nd. And let's see. So, YouTube, anything I show is covered under the Fair Use Disclaimer Act. You can also find my content at Rumble, my FX Buddies, RSS.com, my FX Buddies. Anywhere you listen to a podcast, search for my FX Buddies, and if I'm there, it'll come up. What else? If there's a more info, open, something to that nature button wherever you listen, click there and another box opens and it will have a link to the blog there. What else? That's it. All right. So we will get into oh, there is one thing. No, let's just get into the news. Okay, all right. So the title of this is The Dollar Market is on One Leg. And this is a good thing. Don't panic by saying, and that's just part of the title, but that was how I had to do it because some of the places they limit you to the title, the characters. So the full title of this article is The Dollar Market is on One Leg, a new mechanism, and the exchange rate is threatened. So we want the dollar market on one leg because we want them to stop using dollars, period, right? So you can read this. It says, I'll read some of it, but there's more to it. The Central Bank of Iraq is preparing to stop dealing with the electronic platform for dollar transfers abroad at a time when experts have warned against raising the exchange rate to a higher level in light of the news circulating about this. So that's kind of weird. But what it's saying is, we're telling you don't stop the auctions because it's going to make the dollar price shoot up. And they're right if they don't change the rate and put the new notes out together. They have to do those two functions together. If they don't, the people are going to panic. There's going to be a run for the dollar, and it could crash the currency. And they've been telling them what all month we've been seeing articles from um, uh, economists, and analysts who what are not tied to the government, so they don't know all the details, right? And they don't have faith in the government or the CBI, so they're thinking things aren't going to work as planned, right? And they might be right. I hope they're not. But yeah, so exchange rate hike. In light of these moves, news has been raised about a move towards a new adjustment to the exchange rate. So see, they're talking, hey, they're going to change the exchange rate. Is it the dinar rate? Is it the dollar rate? So they're talking about it, and they could be purposely putting this out to cause confusion, because right when they devalued in December 2020, I think it was, they did the same thing. They had all these reports on the exchange rate in the different provinces, which are now called governance, and there was confusing articles out. So I'm liking this. I'm liking seeing this. But here he says, so this is Mustafa Hantoush. I think he's the one that they said is the negative Norman. Changing the exchange rate in the current situation is useless because the problem is not, so we're right here on this paragraph. Changing the exchange rate in the current situation is useless because the problem is not in purchasing power, but in the demand for the dollar outside the platform due to small traders trade with Iran. And see, it used to say Syria. They would say Iran and Syria, but notice Syria is not there. And some materials that are imported outside the platform due to high custom duties or their ban, in addition to the citizens' desire to save the dollar. So Hantoush added, it is better to find solutions to the increasing demand for the dollar outside the platform instead of resorting to changing the exchange rate, because that will complicate the monetary situation even more than it is now. So he just doesn't want this done. I don't know who's backing him. But he's probably one of the ones making money off of this. And so he's like, no, don't do it. The people aren't going to understand. It's going to cause confusion. And I always say, they didn't worry about confusing the people when they devalued the dinar. Why are they worried about it now? But so, like I said, I like him. I like this article. It leads me to believe they are still on track to stop the auctions. Someone told me Nader, if you know who Nader is. Nader said it's going to stop on the 28th. So the articles just say by the end of the month. So some people think the 31st, but I don't know what day of the week that is. I'm not even going to look it up. But whatever, it seems like they're on track to stop them. So we'll see. We shall see what we shall see. So there's more to this. And again, I say you should read this article. It is kind of long, but you know, that's what it is. So it is what it is. So I have a nice little image there. It says, hello, happy winter days, because Saturday was the first day. Winter here in America, I guess the Western Hemisphere, Northern Hemisphere, or whatever. I don't know. That was not my strong suit when I was in school. But anyway, so I just thought that was cute and I wanted to put that there. All right. So these articles came out yesterday. So the one that that is the cover story or whatever for the blog came out today. So here, I'll just go through these. These are really boring. It's nothing new, really, stuff we already know. Parliamentary finance. The 3-year budget is not the ideal solution and does not replace the annual budget. So he's complaining. He wants to go back to just doing 1 year budget. And maybe they will. They did make history. Oh, excuse me. They did make history by doing this tripartite budget. And I know there's at least one listener. He thinks we have to get through 2025 also. All right. So yeah, so if you want to read that. I mean, nothing's going to happen with the budget anyway until Parliament gets back. And there is an article out that says Parliament will be back on the 9th. But yeah, trust me, they're not going to meet on the 9th. And even if they do, they're not going to get anything done. That's just the session, what is that? The recess ends on January 9th. We'll see when they actually have their first session where they get something done. It also talks about some of the laws they're going to look at. But yeah, so. All right, let's see. Sudani met with Italian defense minister to address regional stability and cooperation. Sudani and Talabani. Now, this guy here, he is something. The Talibanis are the second royal family in Kurdistan, right? So this is his name here, but sometimes they give him here. See, here it is one way, and then same article, same guy, here it is another way. I don't understand that, why they do that, but they do. So I don't know what to call him except Talabani. So yeah, but anyway, so he met with Sudani and they talked about whatever they talked about, because I'm sure whatever is in the article isn't the truth. And then he went to meet with the judge. For those of you who listen to me regularly, there's the head judge, the supreme judge in the country is Iranian. And his name is Zaidan. I think his last name is Zaidan. I just call him Judge Z. So Talabani went to go meet with him. And it did say they were talking about salaries and the oil and gas law. But I'm like, why? But whatever. I'm just going to leave it alone. So now here is the first royal family of Kurdistan, the Barzanis. And this is the one that I call the son Barzani. He met with the T-Man's national security. There's one more name in his title. Excuse me. He's the nominee for something. National Security Council. He's the advisor. He's gonna be whatever to the National Security Council, and they spoke. So I like them talking. We want them talking. We want them working things out, right? So when they get in, they can hit the ground running, right? So there's that. I don't know why that thing didn't line up. Like, you see how it's way out over here. Whatever. Iraqi Kurdish finance ministers do thorough review of budget payments. This meeting they even showed on TV, on the TV over there. So it was a pretty big meeting. It seems like it was a little audit, like an official audit, and it seems like everything was okay. And by that, I mean the amount of oil. So the Kurds have to report the oil from certain oil fields. They have to report that to Baghdad, and they have to send money to Baghdad. And then Baghdad reconciles those files, right? And then Baghdad will send them money back. Isn't that crazy? But whatever, that's how they're doing it. So they had that meeting, and it was for the year. It was for the first 11 months of this year. So I think that was a good thing. Excuse me. And then it says the KRG did make some salary payments this week. So some people got paid, not everyone did, right? Some of those people waiting. All right, here is the article about the Parliamentary Committee coming back. And it says this is the most important thing that will be passed. And nope, It's not the oil and gas law. It says Parliament sessions will resume on January 9th, 2025. They have here the drug law, amending the drug law, the intelligence service law, laws regulating the right to demonstrate. Then it has, there are disputes over controversial laws, personal status, general amnesty, land recovery, oil and gas, which has led to postponement. So it doesn't say they're going to pass them. It's just saying these are important, but they haven't been able to pass them yet. So that's weird. We'll see. Okay, look, I made an account. So there's this guy I love to listen to. And in the middle of his videos, he goes, "Hey, if you're getting value from this video, um, go to whatever, whatever, send money to whatever, or buy me a cup of coffee." And I was like, wow, that's really interesting that he would say, buy me a cup of coffee. I drink a lot of coffee. And then I was like, you know what? It must be something. It must be a site or something. And sure enough, there is a site. Buy me a cup of coffee. So anyway, so I signed up. So if you would like to support me or buy me a cup of coffee, because y'all know I drink a lot of coffee, there's the QR code, and then the words right here is the link too. But anyway, yeah, so it's so simple. Plus, if you're a content creator or if you're thinking about creating something, an ebook or something, you should go check it out too. I don't get paid anything. Just look up buy me a, or it might just be buy me a coffee or buy me a cup of coffee. Well, I have a link, especially if you're watching this on YouTube and you click the link is there. And if you click there, you could see, I'm sure they probably try to get you to open an account. But yeah, I thought that was really neat. It's so easy to navigate. Then you don't have to start a website. You don't have to buy a URL. You can upload your um, product there. Oh, so simple. All right. Anyway, okay. So these are the other articles from today. And if you listen to, I guess no, it's oh, that's right. It was a special one. Okay, but remember Sadani sat down with the media guy and he did a 90-minute interview, and in that interview he said he's been speaking with the T-man to cooperate in economics or something like that. They've been running that every night, the repeat of it. So they definitely want the people to see that. Or it's also holiday time for them, so it's not the regular TV shows coming on. And so maybe that they're running it to fill the space too. But I don't know. But yeah, they've been running it um every night in a row for the last 3 nights. Yeah, all right. So this was a speech he did. He met with Sudani met with a group of tribal sheiks. I hope I don't mean to offend. I don't know how to say that word the right way. Dignitaries, religious men, and elite of the province's people. And among other things, he told them Iraq has regained its leading role in the region and has become an influential and effective country. And it has, right? So that's great. All right. 2025, the year of cautious optimism in Iraq. And look what they have. Who's that? Who's that little guy right there? Yeah, that's Santa Claus. They got all kinds of Christmas decorations, Santa Claus. They even had a Santa Claus show up at an orphanage for Muslim kids. But I was thinking Santa Claus isn't tied to Jesus, so they probably don't care. They probably don't care if Santa Claus shows up. But you should read this. Well, I know Nobody wants to think we're going to be here. But if we're here, I'm thinking if they don't get this done this month, I'm out in June. So you might want to read what they say. And they even say, whoever this guy is, he's just an economic specialist. He's an international economic specialist. He shared the future financial and economic expectations for Iraq at the beginning of the new year 2025. He revealed on Saturday the future. So it's what he sees, right? So it's interesting. The future economic and financial expectations, blah, 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 carry a mixture of optimism and caution, as they depend largely on a set of economic, political, and regional factors that directly affect the country's financial and economic stability. Then he gives some numbers and stuff, GDP, and all of that. So if you want to read that, it's not very long. He concluded his speech by referring to all the data that he mentioned before. The main challenge lies in the government's ability to manage these challenges effectively through balanced financial and economic policies that aim to enhance economic stability and diversify the economy to achieve sustainable growth. So we'll see. Now, check this out. I was going to make this the title. This was going to be the main. Oh, I need to hurry up. Okay. This was going to be the main article, but then that other one came out that I liked better. Project to remove zeros from Iran's, yes, I said Iran, deteriorating currency. So, for those of you who don't know, every March 20th through the 23rd, except last year, Iran has told their people we're going to have new money and a new currency value, because that's either the Muslim New Year or something. It's some kind of New Year, and right around that time they would promise they were going to have a different valued money, and it never happened. And isn't it a coincidence? Iraq's been waiting to revalue their money, right? So I don't know. It looks like they're going to do it. So this bill was approved by the second government of Hassan Rouhani in August 2019. So, but they're saying they're going to do it. So read that. This is very interesting. Now, they're removing 4 zeros, but their money right now, they call it the Toman. In the country, they call their money the Toman. And it's 10 times. So if you have 1 real, and don't quote me on this, but no, because it's less. They take zeros off for the Toman. I don't know. You could figure it out. But so yeah, they're talking about removing 4 zeros from their currency. And let's see. This is interesting too. Although removing 4 zeros from the national currency may make trading easier in the market, the government has not explained how it expects inflation to be reduced by removing 4 zeros from the currency. See, they're not saying the rate has to change too. They're just saying they're going to remove zeros. Yeah, so I'm hoping, right? Hoping. All right, so if you want to read that, it's, yeah, they're going to remove 4 zeros from the national currency and convert its unit from the real to the toman, because that's what they use in country anyway. All right, let's see. Here's an article. Okay, politician Iraq has no fear of the T-man reaching the White House. So you might want to read that. Basically, he says, we have treaties and contracts already in place. And I'm like, yeah, but so what? He's going to say, let me see these contracts and treaties, because I bet you we could squeeze a little more out, right? That's what I'm thinking is going to happen. And then Congress is going to fight him. And that's where the delay is going to come. That's what I think. I could be wrong. Now, here, this article seems like it would be the same during 2025, cautious anticipation of the economic and financial reality in Iraq, but it is not. Or, let's see. No, because see, this is a different economic expert. This is Ahmed Tamimi. This one is shorter, so if you want to read this one, but I liked this part right here. This part I'm going to read. There is extreme caution regarding the financial and economic reality of Iraq at the beginning of the new year. Gee, I wonder why. Especially since the Iraqi economic situation is greatly affected by any security or political event. And for this reason, everyone is anticipating the coming days. Aren't we? Yes, we are. We are all anticipating the coming days. And this matter has led to a decline in the buying, selling of real estate and other valuable items for fear of any expected economic and financial shock. Woohoo! So I like that. All right. Let's see. Okay, this is really good, but I'm not going to read it because there's something else I want to talk about. The road ahead for Iraq's underdeveloped stock market. So you should really read that. It's not long. It's an easy read also. Okay, so that's the article that I already talked about. And there's some, the southern part of Iraq is saying they haven't received any of their money from the budgets. All right. And there's another, this is the House Speaker saying Parliament is keen to pass the budget. Yeah, we'll see. And then here are there's something going on with the Houthis. I think I can say the Houthis and us. I don't know if they talk about it on the news, but so I have some articles here for those of you who like to read stuff about the kablooies going off so close to Iraq. So see this right here, targeting of U.S. aircraft carrier USS Truman. Yeah, they did that. And they also struck Tel Aviv. And so Netanyahu said, okay, yeah, it's our turn now. And then this is really scary. It's not the first time that he has said this either. I don't want to say that word, but that word, chief, advises aggression towards Iran instead of the Houthis. All right, so you can read those. They're there on the blog for free, and you don't have to sign in. You just go there, and everything's there. So there's an article that came out yesterday. I'm not going to post it here. If you want to see it, the picture is the link to it. I may have a link in the words too. I don't know. But you'll see. They're not live right now, but they're live when you go to the blog. Okay. So the article is on this Iraq Business News, which normally they post really responsible business type of articles. This article is a hit piece, and it's not even that. It's a repeat. It's a repeat of when he was in office the first time. They put it out. It's basically making fun of, so it makes fun of people who believe the RV is going to happen. And it also makes it seem like only T-Man followers believe the RV is going to happen. So if you want to go read it, you can. But don't think this sounds like a really positive title, but it's not. It's not a positive article. It's a hit piece saying we're crazy, for believing this is going to happen. Then they kind of say, well, it could happen, but it's been years. They've been waiting since 2003, right? So, and you can see this word right here, right? You see that? So, yeah, it's out there. People are gonna miss see, here's another. And then they don't even put the person's name who wrote it. They put by a guest blogger. So this is clickbait. They know a lot of people are going to see his name. They're going to see Dinar revaluation. And a lot of people are going to go and read this article. And you know when you go to a website, each visit makes them money. So that's why I'm not going to give it. But I do want that understanding out there. I want you to know it's not a good article. Okay. All right. So that's it. I like to keep these to 30 minutes. The holiday is upon us, so I'm not sure when I'll post. So that's why wherever you are enjoying this content, look for a join, like, subscribe, follow type of button. Do whatever action it takes to activate that. Then when I do update, you'll be notified because I don't update. I am thinking because there's a place that I speak that's going to be shut down probably until January 6th. So I might post daily, might, just because anticipation is so high, right? So we'll see. We'll see. All right. So thank you for listening. I hope you had a good weekend. I sure did. I really enjoyed my weekend. Um, and yeah, so accumulate while we wait for the rate to appreciate. Don't miss any meals and pay your bills. I want to thank you again and enjoy the rest of your morning, night, noon, whatever time frame you're listening or watching this. And until next time.